tutorial, let's discuss about range. Suppose we have this data set, and if it is asked to you that what will be the range of this particular data set, then what you have to do is first find out the minimum number, the minimum or the smallest number from this data set. Now you can see that it's 1, then you have 0, then 2, then 3, then 2, 6, 8, 10, 12, 12, 13. Okay. The best way would be, always would be that you first arrange them in the ascending order so that the chances of making mistakes in finding minimum number and then the maximum number is very low. If you arrange them in ascending or descending order, then that will be completely, that will be very good. Anyways, you can proceed on without even arranging them in ascending and descending order, but you'll have to be very careful. So in this case, you will see that the minimum number is 0. So you'll write 0 here. And in this data set, the maximum number is 13. Okay. And you'll write 13 here. Okay. Now you have to calculate range. So range will be maximum number minus minimum number. So this will be 13 minus 0 equals 13. Okay. Here we have another data set, and in this case, if you have to find out the range, then first you'll find out the minimum number of this data set, and minimum number will be what? 5, 5, 20, 15, 10, 15, 30. Clearly 5 is the smallest number, so minimum number is 5. Then maximum number will be 30. In this case you have 30 only. Okay. Now if you're wondering that, hey, we have 2 times 5 here, then still you need not to worry about how many times a particular number is occurring in a given data set. That is, you don't have to bother about the frequency of occurrence. You only have to look at the values. Okay. Even if 30 was 10 times, then also you'll take maximum number as 30 only. The number of occurrence of any given number or the frequency of a particular number in a given data set should not bother you when you are selecting minimum number and maximum number. Now the range will be maximum number, that is 30, and minimum number, that is 5. This will be 25. Now what does range tell us then? We have seen here in this case and in this case we learn how to calculate the range. Then what exactly does it tell us? Well, when we were learning about average, then we discussed that in order to calculate average, you can use 3 ways. First was arithmetic mean, right? This one we have discussed. Then median, and then mode. These are some of the ways to calculate average. While we have learned about arithmetic mean in our earlier videos, we haven't discussed median and mode until now. So until now we haven't discussed this. We'll discuss this in our future video. But average tells us, average of any given data set tell us about the central tendency, that is central of the data. Okay, average tells us about the central of the data, whereas range tells us the spread of the data, of the data set. In this case, this will be data set. And these two are actually two features of any given data set: central of the data set and spread of the data set. While you'll calculate central of the data set using arithmetic mean, median, or mode, you'll calculate spread of the data set using range. So spread of the data set tells you that how spread out your data set is. Like in this case, the range is 13, okay, and the values in this data set is very clear to you. You can clearly see that you have minimum 0 and you have maximum 13. So when you will calculate when you got range, that is 13, it gives an idea of the spread, that how far it is spread, that what would be the difference between the minimum and the maximum. So in this case it was 13, in this case it was 25. So you'll say that, hey, since in this data set the range is 25, so it means that if I compare to this one, then the difference between the minimum and the maximum in this case is much larger, right? Let me explain you with some real life example. Let's say that we have this room, okay? We have this room where party is going on. This room is a hall. And let's say that we are preparing a data set of ages of all the people present in this room, and let me assign some arbitrary variables that are representing some number. Let us say A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. Okay, so on. Let it be, last one be X only. Okay, now someone tells you that, hey, you know what, we have this data set. These are some arbitrary variables we have assigned to the ages for all the people present in this room, where A, B, C, D, E, F until X, this is ages of people present in this room. And if someone tells you that the range of this data set is, if the range of the data set is, let's say, only 15, if the range of this data set is only 15, now what does it tell us? It tells us that if the range is 15, we don't know the values, only some arbitrary variables have been assigned. We don't know the actual values. So if someone asks you that what will you conclude from this data set and the given range, you will say that, hey, that's very simple. You know what? The range is 15. It means that maximum age minus minimum age is actually what? 50. I don't know about maximum age, I don't know about minimum age, but you know what I can conclude from this? I can conclude that the age difference, the age gap is not too much. Okay, the difference between the maximum age and the minimum age is 15. It means that people are almost of the same age group, where the difference is only 15. Okay, let's say that the range was 50, not 15, but 50. In that case, someone asks you that, what will you conclude now? You'll say that, hey, you know what? Actually, the maximum age in this case minus minimum age in this case is actually what? 50. It means that almost people of two generation, maybe people of two generation are present there, right? So in this case, people were almost of the age difference was not too much, but in this case it is 50. That is, the age difference is too much. That means in this particular room, people present are very younger also, and in comparison to them, people are very older also, right? So this 50 and this 15, the range gives you an idea of the kind of not the kind of people, but of what age people are present in this particular room, that what is actually the difference. That's what the spread out is. how spread out your data set is. It gives you an idea. While in these two examples, in this example and in this example, you were aware of your data set. That's why you can quickly tell you that, okay, the range is this one. I can look at this data set and tell that, okay, we have 5 here, we have 30 here, and in this case we have 0 here and we have 13 here. But here you were not having any exact values. The only thing given to you was that this is a data set and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, these are some variables assigned, some arbitrary variables assigned for the ages of people present in this room, and the range is 15. So on the basis of the range only, you can conclude about the age difference or the age gap of people present here. That's what the spread of the data, how spread out your data set is. When we were learning about arithmetic mean in earlier videos, then we discussed one point that whenever we have to calculate average, we cannot simply use arithmetic mean in each and every condition. And we said that it all depends upon the situation or the condition given, and on the basis of that only we decide whether we can use arithmetic mean or median or mode. Well, this video tutorial is about mode, so we will learn what do we mean by mode, how do we calculate it, and using some real-world examples, we will learn that what's the difference between using arithmetic mean and mode. That is, when you will use arithmetic mean and when you will use arithmetic mode. So first let's learn that how we calculate mode. Suppose we have this data set, and in this data set we have some values. So the values are 1, 2, 3, again 1, 14, 14, 15, 16, 14, 1, 1, 7, 2, 2, 3. These values represent something. We're not going into that detail that what these values actually represent. Our focus is only on this data set that contains some values. Now, if someone asks you that what will be the mode of this data set, in order to calculate the mode, you'll have to look at that particular number or value in the given data set, which is occurring most number of times. So if you look here, you have 1 here, you have 1 here, you have 1 here, and you have 1 here. So 1 is occurring 4 times. Then you have 2 here, you have 2 here, then you have 2 here. 2 is occurring 3 times. You have 3 here, you have 3 here. So 3 is occurring 2 times. Then you have 7 here. 7 is occurring only 1 time. Then you have 14, 14, and 14. So 14 is occurring 3 times. Then you have 15. So 15 is occurring 1 time. And then you have 16. And 16 is occurring only 1 time. Now clearly 1 is that value or number that is occurring 4 times, and that is a maximum number of times in this. Out of all the numbers, it's the maximum number of times in this given data set. Therefore, mode in this condition, in this question, will be 1 for this data set. Wait a second. What if our data set was something like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's say we have these values. Now if someone asks you that what will be the mode in this condition where each number or value is occurring only 1 time, in that case, remember, each number or value will be the mode of that particular data set. In this condition, where all the values or number are occurring 1 number of time, each number will be the mode. So 1 will be mode, 2 will be mode, 3 will be mode, 4 will be mode, and up to 10. So all these numbers are actually mode. It means that for a given data set, you can have more than one mode. What if your data set was something like this? 1, 1, 1, 1, then 2, then 2, then 2, then 2, then 3, then 3, then 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. What if your data set was something like this? Now you can clearly see that 1 is occurring 4 times, same with 2, and same with 4. Right? So 1, 2, and 4, these 3 values are actually occurring 4 times. 3 is occurring only 2 times, and rest all numbers are only occurring 1 time. So in this condition, mode will be 1, 2, and 4. So for a given data set, you will choose that value or number as the mode of that data set, which occurs most number of time. And if a data set has values where all values are occurring only 1 time, then all the numbers will be the mode of that data set, and that you can have more than one value as the mode for a given data set. Okay, now let's take some real world example and let's try to learn that when do we apply mode and when we apply arithmetic mean, and why do we say that not in every condition you can use arithmetic mean and not in every condition you can use mode. Suppose in a small town you have a very big factory, and in that small town workers live there. There are total 100 workers. Each worker's salary is 1 lakh per year. Per annum their salary is 1 lakh. In the same small town, one of the owners of that factory lives there. Okay, let's say that there are a total number of 4 owners of that factory, but one owner lives there and his or her salary is rupees 40 crore per year. Now, if someone asks you that what will be the average salary of this small town, if it is asked that average salary, then average salary means that what is that salary that an average person earns there, okay, in that small town or in that locality. If we use arithmetic mean, then in order to calculate average, then what you will do? So arithmetic mean will be what? That you'll have to first add all those values and divide by total number of values, right? Remember that? So you have 100 workers and each worker earns 1 lakh. Each worker earns 1 lakh per annum, and this 40 crore. And divided by 101, because 100 workers and this one man, that is the owner. And when you'll calculate this arithmetic mean, then this arithmetic mean will be 40 lakh 59,406, something around this value. Okay, now this value tells what? This is actually what? Average. Is this really the average salary of this small town where 100 workers are earning only 1 lakh per year and just one owner is earning 40 crore per year? And here you have calculated arithmetic mean, which shows that average salary of this average salary per year for this small town where 100 workers live and they earn some minimum wages. So is this value representing giving a correct explaining the correct scenario? No, this value is not explaining the correct scenario, because just only one person is earning 40 crore, but 100 workers are earning just 1 lakh per year, right? And this is explaining, this number is telling you that, hey, average person is actually earning 40 lakhs, somewhere around 40 lakhs per year. That's wrong. In that case comes the role of mode. How? Now, see that 100 workers are earning 1 lakh. So 1 lakh per year. So 1 lakh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again 1 lakh, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again 1 lakh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so on. And this will continue around up to 100 times, because 100 workers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so this is the salary of the 100th worker, and then just this one value, that is 40 crore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 1 lakh 100 times and just 40 crore. Now if you calculate mode, in order to tell the average salary for this small town, per year salary, average salary, in that case, if you calculate mode, then mode will exactly tell you that, okay, there are 100 times 1 lakh, right? 1 lakh is occurring 100 times for this given data set. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mode will be 1 lakh, and this will be average salary per year. And you can clearly see that how exactly it's telling us the average salary, per year salary for this small town where 100 workers are actually earning just 1 lakh per year. So when you calculated arithmetic mean, it gave you value 40 lakh 59,406. So this was arithmetic mean telling you average salary, and here this is mode that is telling you average salary. Now you can clearly compare it in both these two values, and you can see that how exact mode gave us the value, right? So this is the importance of, it all depends upon the condition whether you'll use arithmetic mean or mode. So now we know how to calculate the mode of a data set, and in this video tutorial we are going to learn how to calculate the mode of a large data set. Whatever example we have used till now, in order to find the mode, we have used small data sets. What if you have been given a large data set like the one in this example? So how will you find the mode without making an error? We are going to use tally marks. Okay, so first you will make a column of all the numbers present here. We'll have to mention them here. Then we'll use tally marks to count their occurrence, and then the final count. So let's begin. First you have to write all those values here in an ascending order. So start from 1. We don't have zeros here, so start from 1. Then we have 2. Then we have 3. Then we have 4. Do we have 5? Yes, we have 5. Do we have 6? Yes, we have 6. Do we have 7? Yes, we have 7. We have 8. We have 9. We have 10. We have 11. And we have 12. Okay. So let me draw them here like this, so that there's no confusion. I'm going to pause this video so that I can draw this line. So we have drawn all the lines here so that we can separate these numbers, and let's begin to count using tally marks. So we have one here, then we have another one here 2 times, we have 3 times 1, and then we have 4 times 1, and then we have 5 times 1. Okay, do we have another one? No. What about 2? So we have 2 here, we have another 2 here, we have another 2 here, we have another 2 here, 4, We have another 2 here, so this is fifth one. And okay, that's it. Then come to 3. So 3 is here, 3 is here, 2, 3 is here, 3. Okay, so we have only 3 times 3. Now what about 4? So 4 is 1 here, then second here, then third here and fourth here. We have 2 times 3 and 4. Then we have, okay, so we have 4 times 4. What about 5? So 5 is here, then okay, so we have only 1 time 5. What about 6? 6 is here, 6 is here, 2 times 6, 3 times 6 and 4 times 6. So 3 and 4. That's it. What about 7? 7 we have here, 1, another 1, 2. So only 2 times 7. What about 8? We have 8 here. And we have 8 here, 2 times. What about 9? So we have 9 here. And we have 9 here, 2 times. What about 10? So we have 10 here. We have 10 here. We have 10 here, 3 times. But what 11? What about 11? So 11 is just 1 time. And what about 12? So 12 is 2 times. 1 times and 2 times. Okay, so let's write the count now. This is 5. This is also 5. This is 3. This is 4. This is 1. This is 4. This is 2. This is 2. This is 2. This is 3. This is 1. And this is 2. So clearly, here we have 2 5 counts. 2 times 5. One is for the number 1 and one is for the number 2. Therefore, if you have to tell the mode of this given data set, that will be 1 and 2. Why 1 and 2? Because we know that we can have more than one mode for a given data set, and it all depends upon the number of frequency, or the number of occurrence of that particular number or value. So we have 2 times 5 count, and 1 5 count is for number 1 and 1 5 count is number 2. So we have mode 1 and 2. So this is the way to calculate the mode of a large data set. We'll use tally bars or tally marks, and for that you should know the concept of tally marks. So if you don't know, please go to the playlist on data handling and data set, and you can watch the tutorials, video tutorials on tally marks.